Hi, this is Aaron with Armadillo Auto Spa, and we are working on kind of a gloomy day here in Tarrant County, Texas. Normally this would be a horrible day for washing cars, but today we are applying our top-of-the-line ceramic coating to this Hyundai Tucson. It's going to be 10H, which makes it extremely hard on the ceramic. Normally the highest you can go is about 10H, so 10H is going to keep this car very protected. It's going to keep it kind of resilient to scratches, and it's also going to be hydrophobic and oleophobic, which means it's going to repel water and oils, so it'll be extremely easy to clean. It's going to make it shiny for many years to come. But before we can apply that ceramic coating, we've got to do a very thorough wash on it. We've got to do a clay bar, get any kind of contaminants out, and then we're also going to do a paint correction, which means we're going to buff and polish all the scratches out and get it very smooth, as perfect as we can get on that paint before we apply that ceramic coating. So we got a long day ahead of us, and come along. Thanks. Now we're going to use this iron buster, which is an iron decontamination product. It'll loosen up any iron in the paint. Sometimes you get iron from brake dust and just industrial contaminations. Well, it started raining a little bit. I wasn't expecting rain today, but that iron remover's been sitting on there for about a minute, and you can see, you're not going to see it in the paint too much. Anything that's hitting iron will turn purple, so if you'll see it in the wheels a little bit, so that's breaking up any of the iron in the paint or in anything that the iron's touching. What it's doing is it's expediting that rusting, so it'll kind of start rusting a little bit really quickly, and it'll hopefully unclog itself from whatever it's stuck to. So you'll see it in the concrete quite a bit because there's iron in the concrete, but we'll just pressure wash that and it'll come right off. But that's what we got going. All right, so we've done quite a bit of washing today already. We've done some decontaminating. We're gonna further it. This will be our last step before we start doing some polishing on this paint. I'm gonna go ahead and clay bar it. This is my clay here. It looks just like modeling clay or anything you've ever done, but it's specifically made for cleaning cars. I'm using Adams. It's a medium grade clay bar. This is what I'll use if I'm going to be doing paint correction or paint enhancement usually. It's kind of more aggressive than something like this. This is from the Rag Company. This is very high grade, but this is an ultra fine clay bar, so it's just less aggressive than the Adams. And then this is also another flavor. This is a clay mitt. So a lot of times, if you're getting a wash and wax kind of thing, like wash clay and wax, which is a service I provide or offer, I'll be using that clay mitt because it's less aggressive than the others, but it'll get a lot of the contamination out. But if you're going with a medium or something like that, a lot of times you want to polish it after. So since I'm going to be polishing, use a little bit more aggressive clay, and I'm also using this. This is a bucket, and I've got a little bit of water in there, and I've got some Absolute rinseless wash, and that's going to kind of lubricate it as I glide this clay across the surface. You don't want to go in dry. So that's going to be our next step. All right, so we did all the decontamination. We washed it, clayed it, and then we brought it back in the garage because it started raining a little bit and we need to bring it in the garage anyways. For what we're going to do next is the polishing. So she looks really shiny until you get over here where I got this special light set up. You can see all these micro scratches here. You can see one here and kind of on the outside of that. It looks like a swirl. They call that swirls. So that's this car is 3 years old. She got about 30,000 miles on it. And I mean, it's common, but you see these scratches here that go all the way along these here. You know, we're gonna polish it, get that stuff out of there, and get it prepped for ceramic coating. All right, so I finished polishing this door here, and we'll go in, and you can see that most of the scratches are out. If you compare it to the door that I've not polished yet, you can see a lot of scratches and stuff in there. And if you scroll over here, I got most of those scratches out. All right, again, so we were on the hood again. I just wanted to show again. This is half the hood I just polished, and then we'll go over here to this other side that I haven't polished. You can definitely see the little scratches and how that light reflects. It makes it look kind of like a spider web or something on the hood. And then over here, you can see it's a lot clearer, and you can see that metal flake is really kind of crazy. All right, so we're about done polishing there. It took me most of the day to polish her out, and I think she turned out pretty good. She looks really glossy here. And I've been playing with these ultra bright lights here. Just looking for anything I missed or anything that needs attention. So my next step is going to be I'm going to spray it with this. It's a pre-coat for the coating. So I'm using an IGL coating, and I'm going to use their pre-coat. So there's a lot of chemicals that can be mixed and matched with different manufacturers, and you know, that's okay most of the time. But with applying a coating, I usually use the pre-coat that is designated for that coating. So I'm using an IGL coating. I'm going to use the pre-coat. If I was going to use a PNS coating, I'd use a PNS. They call it a paint prep. But they're all alcohol based, and they all have a little something extra in them that helps the coating that they manufacture bond to the paint. All right, so I went and sprayed that pre-coat on, and we are ready for the main event, which we're going to put this coating on. This is a two-part coating, so this is the base layer here, and then we're going to go back in a few hours, and we'll go put the top coat, which is the actual ceramic coat. This is kind of like a primer, and this will help it stick to the paint and adhere, because it is such a hard premium coating. It takes a little bit of extra steps. There are other coatings that only require one step. They don't have the longevity, and they don't might not have the same characteristics as this coating. So this is why it's a premium coating, and it takes a little bit longer, but the results should speak for themselves. So I'm just going to go ahead and crack this thing open, and then we'll put some of this stuff on this little tab. All right, so we've waited a few hours. We walked around and put on the base layer, and that was a few hours ago. Now we're gonna go add the top coat. This is gonna be our final step, and it's the same thing. You got a little bottle and a little applicator. Put a little on here, and then we're gonna put it on. We're gonna wait about 30 seconds to a minute and a half, and then we'll go back and wipe it off. So it's gonna be the same kind of thing. All right, so we applied the ceramic coating. It was a pretty thorough process. Took about 12 to 14 hours, but I think she turned out pretty good. It's real shiny. I think she looks better probably than she did when she was new. So she should be protected for many years to come. Thanks for watching. If you have any detailing questions or concerns, or need a detail in Tarrant County, Texas, please reach out to me. Thank you.